hygiene bags with soap, deodorant, toothbrushes, toothpastes,
comb,
baby wipes,
chapstick, and 5 pairs of socks in the bags.
Socks are the biggest need for the less fortunate people. I'm going to assume specifically in colder states.
Exactly.
That is kind of like a lesser known piece of information for most people.
You got to take care of your feet.
Yes.
When I was in the Marine Corps, biggest thing, no matter how many miles we hiked, we always took a break, change your socks.
Did you ever pee on your feet?
No. Why? Oh. Who does that?
No, because I heard this one guy, he said he was in the military, and when they had apparently it disinfects their feet or something like that.
Nah.
He probably got stung by a jellyfish.
Yeah, that's the only time I've heard that.
No, he was there. He was
He
telling.
peed on himself trying to make it
I mean,
cool.
there's like
When you get that gangrene, he said you got to pee on it.
there's like stuff that they could give you to clean that up. I don't know why you would give you.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
20.
he was in the middle of Vietnam, bro. Viet Cong.
I mean, maybe back then.
I'm sure he did.
How old was this man?
Is he still around?
It's been a while since John's been to Vietnam.
Get him on the podcast.
Does he still have that leg?
I don't know. It was a peg
It's a
leg.
nub now.
No, but you guys, so got a lot of events coming planned up. I'm sure there's a lot of logistical things you guys got to plan for that. Is there any fundraisers? Because I know you guys usually do annual fundraisers coming up.
Yeah, go to thebloggisbad.org and fundraise us.
By going to the Block Aware tab and getting yourself a nice piece of merchandise because
Fundraise
it's
us.
completely noticed as a tax write-off, right?
Yeah, tax deductible.
And it's also an amazing piece of merchandise designed by Nodgington, most likely, and put together on beautiful shirts by my friend John.
Not only that, now you can go on www.theblockgivesback.org and sign up for a monthly reoccurring donation. So you can sign up for $5 a month. Who's really going to miss $5 a month? If we get 100 people to sign up for $5 a month, that's good money coming in. That's going to cover almost all the weeks for Feed the Block in just 1 month. It allows us to do so much more. It provides us with financial, security, or you can just make a one-time donation, and it's greatly appreciated.
And let us not forget our virtual raffle.
I was about to just say we're trying to do a virtual raffle.
We're not trying. We're gonna do it. It's just we have time. We have the comfortability of being able to push it back. We've had no fundraisers this year, right?
No, we're gonna have a virtual beef and beer. I'm kidding.
And that's because of COVID, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's been an amazing year when we can sustain, and not only that, we can grow without having any fundraisers. So our 6,000 plus Instagram followers, and what do we got, 2,500-ish on Facebook.
Yeah,
it might be some of the same people, but those people in particular have been keeping us afloat and beyond. Making this whole thing become more, something we can continue to grow off of because we have the potential, sponsors and supporters behind us already.
I feel like it's kind of like unpopular to say, but like COVID was kind of a blessing for us. No, it did. It was. That's why I'm saying unpopular, because we were
Don't edit that clip.
We were able to like take a step back, reevaluate what we're going to do for our future and stuff like that. We were able to come up with this great plan going forward, and then we had people that seen what we were doing in this time, so they're like, our following has increased, and then we're able to take that to when the doors do open. Now we have this new, not fan base, but this new people that we can bring on to volunteer with us now. So like when we have our Love Thy Park cleaning up and stuff like that, we have more people that we can just, instead of the 25 that we are allowed to have, we can have more.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like unpopular, but it was a blessing in disguise.
No, for
we
sure.
we found the silver lining. Put it that way. We found the silver lining in this terrible time when people out of work, people sick, dying, whatever. I didn't mean to say whatever.
Sick, dying, whatever.
But it turned into a beautiful thing.
But the silver lining is we were able to take a step back, breathe a little bit. Usually it's event after event, after fundraiser, after event, after fundraiser, event. We never had time to really sit back and digest our year, see what we're doing, look forward, and really plan for the future. So we were just lucky to find the silver lining.
A lot of businesses, I mean, for people who've listened to the podcast on previous episodes that I've done, hear about the creative ways that certain businesses have come up with to do things to adapt to COVID. And, I mean, you guys are one of them. And although it's a terrible thing, I mean, like you said, silver linings. There's some good that comes out of it. And if anything, this is one of the biggest silver linings. You're feeding you've fed over 2,000 some people.
Yeah.
I would suggest that number's over 3,000 now. With
Yeah,
the
honestly, I
past
feel
weekend.
Yeah.
And to add to the silver lining of it, there are a lot of people who probably didn't have a purpose before, they seen this organization, the Blockheads, back doing their thing, or before they came to our table and got a platter. They didn't have anything to do Saturdays. So, hopefully their family is safe and healthy, and this is something that they gained only, throughout this tumultuous time, if that's the proper use of that word. People are just finding more of a purpose and more something to be involved, attached to. We have a lot of new volunteers that are coming out, and now they're consistently coming out, and they feel like they're part of the family, have that purpose through what we do.
And on top of that, out of necessity, out of the needs that people have, who probably before this didn't know that the Block Gives Back was about this type of stuff, or other organizations.
And that effect has happened worldwide.
Yeah.
Due to, thankfully we were on Queer Eye. We have a worldwide audience that appreciates and respects what we do, and we're growing our following to where we have people in Indianapolis. Shout out to my friend Sarah, who's doing things out there, with the Block spirit in mind. We have someone in Orlando who is working on doing things similar to what we do, just, based off of what they seen we do inspired them, and they seen a need in their homes at this time.
I remember seeing you guys go live, and every now and then you'd randomly go live with somebody else.
Very often.
Very often. And one of the person you went live with was in another state, and they heard you guys.
Jersey, we have Virginia.
From
Queer Eye?
Queer Eye, yeah. I forgot what it was called.
That's okay.
And
by the way, season 5, episode 4, North Philly story.
Yep. See. And it just shows how much reach you guys are starting to have, and that momentum is just constant. It's constant. So
it's ever growing, and people are showing it. Whereas we're trying to do things more structure based and limit ourselves, and it's so difficult because so many people want to be involved right now. We're literally having to turn people away, unfortunately, but then they still come back. That's the crazy thing about it. People, we can sell, hey, we actually are at capacity on volunteers. You think you can come back next week? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll come next week. And they'll pop up, like they never even hesitated a thought. Yeah, they're just as excited.
Like I was saying, right behind you is our list of volunteers. So we write down who's coming. That way we know there's a cap. That's it.
And I've seen that spreadsheet you guys have, or not even spreadsheet, but some type of login page.
Our volunteer sign-in?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just to keep track of everybody coming and going and whatnot. And it's just...
That's the professional part of the professionally unprofessional.
Yeah. You guys, like I said, well-oiled machine. Just from where you guys came from to where you are now, and it's only going to get better.
Before I came in, their meetings used to be yelling at each other and stuff like that.
Right around the corner.
And we said that on previous podcasts, and now we got Corona. I'm kidding. And now look at us,
And to take it one step further, we literally pretty much started this thing around the corner. We had meetings in my alleyway around the corner from where the block shop is now located, where we're coming at each other. We got 4 or 5 guys that didn't make it past the first year or two. And we're all in these meetings having a hard time. But now, seriously, like I said, look at us now. We've really come a long way. We have our own place. We used to be in my hot living room passing around this big-ass trophy I had from a car wash and calling that the talking stick. And we were only allowed to talk unless you had that. Stick. And it still didn't work.
It was only hot because Hakeem didn't want to turn on the air conditioner.
Absolutely. We came up bills. We bought pizza. That was the most that we could do.
Which, shout out to Hakeem being fiscally responsible, because between him and Kev being, the pretty much who says we can buy what and when we can buy it, we wouldn't have been able to, survive the initial months of coronavirus when the money, sort of slowed down, but we still had rent to pay. We still had bills. We still had, events to fund.
Yeah.
So we had a nice nest egg of money to help us reach to where we are today.
Nice.
Yeah.
So be fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
Especially if you
turn the AC off.
Especially if you're a business owner.
Yeah. Make sure you turn the lights off. We're right now sitting with the lights off and the windows wide open because we're conserving energy.
We're energy efficient. Yeah.
Well, there's a ton of organizations that have gone under because of this, and
I'm as cheap as they come, bro.
For y'all to strive actually and do the opposite here right now. That's
this
that
block.
speaks volumes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can look up and down the block that we're
yeah.
on, and there's several businesses that were closed down due to what happened during
COVID,
Corona.
yeah.
Specifically, one place across the street that had people with it.
And what's crazy is
Shout out to them. Not shout out to them. We're doing better than them.
what's crazy is a lot of those businesses.
We failed all our tests. They have passed theirs.
a-
They're positive. We're negative. Just to let you know.
What's
It sounds personal, Kev. Talk about this later.
I'm gonna see them outside.
What's crazy about that is all those businesses, I'm sure, are for consumers. So people have to
Right.
go in and buy things. Meanwhile, you guys are here giving things away,
Yeah.
and you're striving. So that's just
And that goes just to like our following. Shout out to all our volunteers. Shout out to the people that just donate. Shout out to people who don't know us and donate on the regular. That don't live within.
Say some of their names. I'm sure you remember some of their
Shout
names.
out to Joseph Kennedy, who's from
Yes.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, who has a weekly donation of a
Monthly.
monthly donation that I will not disclose, but
It's
helps,
nice.
It helps greatly. And shout out to there's other people who are also part of that monthly.
Jess Blum.
Okay.
I see her name pop
Yeah,
up.
she
I always
donates
see
a
her.
lot.
I don't know who she is. Like I've never met her,
Yeah,
but her name pops up. Jess Blum just
Yeah,
did another
we have
donation.
A lot of donors.
There's several people like that.
across the country, people that we barely know that, I only know through family, supporters, people that share posts on the regular. They'll always share a post which leads to donations or leads to volunteers. People don't realize how many free ways there are to support either a business or an organization like this.
Attention counts.
yeah.
And just make sure you tag the person when you.
Yeah, it's so easy. Like if I just take a screenshot of your podcast and just tag you inside of it, boom, you may get 2 clicks from that. But that's 2 clicks that you didn't have before.
No, 100%.
And just like for us, like if Tommy goes out and be like, hey, each platter costs us $3 to make or whatever, and he just posted it one time, and if 10 people post that,
And like when I go to the block's Instagram and I see all the reposts, like I won't even have to repost his initial one because 10 people copy and pasted it. And honestly, yeah, it looks slightly unprofessional when you see a repost like that. But I want people to see that it's not just coming from the top, from us. This is coming from community members. This is coming from your cousin or whoever. Multiple different people. It could be a guy who has a rap following, maybe he makes music, could be a beautiful girl reposting. People of every demographic are reposting our stuff. Beautiful. And you might need to, some people need that confirmation. Just like, oh, I know that person, or that person is like-minded, or that person, if they support it, now I can support it.
Exactly. I think I watch the Block story multiple times, and more than half the time, it's not even the Block posting their own
That's
story.
the great thing.
we don't post on the
It makes
story.
my life so easy when I don't have to repost any information on our story because other people did it for me already. And it's like, oh, all I got to do is repost the piece of information that you put out, and I could just post a picture today. It makes life so much easier, and also everyone gets to understand the mission that way. Whereas instead of us, putting it in the words every 5 minutes like we used to have to do, every post was long flyers with really descriptive details. And that kind of kills the immediate eye test for new people. Whereas if people are already spreading the information, the necessary information at least, it works so much easier. I don't need to give you every piece of our history to tell you why our school bag drive would be a good thing to support.
And with that being said, just recap. Events coming up where the listeners can follow, donate, support, all the good things.
Go to the bloggivesback.org. You can find all our information there. But if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's at the Block Gives Back.
No underscores or spaces.
No underscores. On Facebook, it's The Block Gives Back. On Twitter, it's The Block Gives Back. On Venmo, it's The Block Gives Back.
I actually think it's Block Gives Back on Twitter.
Well.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough characters for the. We can double check that. We're on TikTok as well. Shout out to
At
Sarah
The
on our
Block
TikTok.
Gives Back.
We got everything. And we're on YouTube.
Upcoming events we have every Saturday at 6831 Tarsdale Ave. Feed the Block. 125 meals going out every week. Bread going out every week. Shout out to our bread plug. Groceries most weeks. We'll have grocery boxes.
That is something you also can donate. If you're interested in donating and don't want to put forth your money, don't have the time, you can always go to the grocery store and buy a bunch of jars of sauce or pasta. We will be able to make that for the community and
Garlic
put it
bread.
out.
Just bring them to 6831 Tarsdale Ave. We have Love Thy Park at Vogue Playground Saturday, September 12th. and our end of year John December 12th, I think we're going to go with 350 bags going out.